Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noel Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit, and joining me every week is my brother Pedro.
Good morning, everybody. Pedro is Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we're here to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This is a show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It is episode 523. We're live streaming here on all the usual networks. It's Wednesday, April 15th, 2026. We're hanging out in the Adafruit Discord server. If you'd like to join us during the show and have any questions or comments, of course, you can drop them in any of the chats that we have, but also the Adafruit Discord server is where all the people gather and chat. So you can check it out. We're in the live broadcast chat channel. If you are new to the Adafruit Discord, you want to invite, the URL for that is discord.gg/Adafruit. So we're hanging out there. We'll let folks roll in as we get the stream going. And
so we should have done this in the morning. Discord. How will this show up? I'm making a QR code for the Discord link.
Okay, that's a really good idea. That's a new feature in StreamYard, which is the streaming software we use.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, cool. Very nice. Look at that. It's got a little duck in the middle.
Although I don't know how you scan if you're already on your phone. That's always confused me.
The UX never quite, gets thought out. It's always like, yeah, QR code.
Anyway, in the OS to make it clickable when it sees a QR code.
Yeah, I just clicked it and it disappeared. My bad.
Oh, I did that. That was me.
I just happened to click on it at the same time. Adafruit.com/free. Let's find out what are the deals this week as we start to sell out more and more of our freebies. Hopefully we get some more things produced so we can get more freebies in stock. But this week, if your order is $99 or more, you're going to get a free PCB coaster with the Golden Adafruit logo. And if your order is at the top tier, $199 or more, you'll get the PCB coaster plus free UPS ground shipping for contiguous, US only, contiguous. I always thought it was continuous, but nope. How many freebies can you get? All the details are there at adafruit.com/free. And we have a coupon code for a special coupon code for just the viewers of this show. Coupon code QT Blocks will get you 10% off your order. So while you're at checkout, if you get a freebie, you can use our coupon code QT Blocks to get 10% off your order. This coupon code is valid for the next 24 hours and expires at midnight tonight Eastern time. Okay. Shout out to everybody on the various chats. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. And I think it might be a late chat show, which is great because we got a lot to catch up on, I think. We got a lot of community makes. We got prototypes, all sorts of different prototype projects. No learn guide this week, but we are ramping up and we have some lovely demos to show. Starting off with, I guess, my stuff. So last week I talked about doing a project inspired by an infamous MIT hack back in 2012. The MIT Green Building in Massachusetts. A couple folks from MIT thought it would be cool to turn their building into a playable Tetris game. So we kind of combined two projects into one, where there is a website that's called Map to Model, where you put in a map address and it'll give you a 3D model. It's 3D printable. It's designed to be 3D printable. So we were able to grab a model of the MIT Green Building in Massachusetts. That's Massachusetts Institute of Technology. That's the college that Lamar graduated from back in 2005. She said, why don't we bring the Map to Model plus remake of the MIT Tetris Green Building. So I modeled this up, 3D printed it in several parts. Going on the same thing of my last project was the MIDI visualizer that had a grid of NeoPixel LEDs with these pebbles. I have a similar thing, but now it's a playable Tetris matrix. So this is running off of a Feather RP2040. It's inside. It's such a look at this building. It's a building with 117 NeoPixels. It's not quite exactly to scale or exactly the same grid because I've kind of maxed out my bed volume here. So I'm printing this in a couple different pieces. Let's see if I get this slides out so that I can actually get in and press fit all these 117 pebbles into this grid that's spaced out to match this arrangement of the windows. That this is supposed to be like the front face of the building. There's windows. You have your bottom floor here, and these bottom windows actually don't get lit up, so that's why I have it there. And these are just these like little impressions to show, so I don't have any support materials printing, and this kind of slots in. This piece here slots in. You can see there's these little kind of rails that kind of keep it and held in place. I ran out of filament. I had just enough filament to finish printing this, so I have another top piece that just snap fits over there. The bottom here has an on-off switch. It will be battery powered, and then the feather USB port is accessible there. So I quickly asked Claude Code if he could do me a demo. I ran out of tokens, so I need to upgrade my plan. But actually, this is going to be a collab project with Liz Clark. She's going to handle the code. The idea is that we're going to have this matrix be a playable Tetris game. And then for the actual controlling of the Tetris blocks, we're going to use an Adafruit mini Gamepad QT. That's the little dev board here, or a little seesaw board here. So I need to add a hole here so that the Stemma cable can come out and plug into here. And this is like a really quick solution to not have to wire up anything. You just plug and play this little XY thumb pad with 4 buttons here. And I think you have start and select here in the middle. So we'll be able to pause the game, play the game, rotate the blocks, and then put them in the right spot here. There's going to be a piece of black LED acrylic that gets sandwiched in between the grid and this frame here, this top frame. And I think that's kind of be it. There's not going to be any sound effects because we don't want to do sound effects for this one. We just want to keep it as a simple Tetris playable game with a little gamepad here. And the only soldering you'll need to do is, I think, just cutting the stock cable that comes with the NeoPixel Pebble strip, cutting that, tinning the wires, and then screw block terminal into the Feather RP2040 Propmaker. So I think that's pretty much the gist of it. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see this actually playing. So we'll be in a couple of, maybe another week or two until we have like next week. I think we'll have a playable demo here. Yeah, so that's that project. Did I go too fast? I don't know. I think I kind of explained it all. No, I have some history here. If folks are interested, they can check out the website here, hacks.mit.eu. You can see the hacks. There's some GIFs here of what it looked like in when this happened back in 2012 of April 20th. Look at that, 5 days. It'll be the anniversary of this magical night happening of the MIT students playing Tetris on their building, the green building. The green building. So there's some stuff about it. I also have a wiki page here of the building, which I've been referencing for getting the scale right. I did mention the map to model website, but it just gives you like a block. It doesn't really, it's not going to give you all the little intricate details, but at least it gave me some proportions to deal with. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about having like exactly 1-to-1 because like, again, I have to, limit the size to the bed volume of my 3D printer. What 3D printer? It's the X1C from Bamboo Labs. I am just clicking everywhere. But yeah, it maxes out at like 250. And it says it can do 256, but you actually can't because you have to have a little bit of extra for the Z-hop. So if you were to make this exactly 256 tall, it wouldn't be able to print because it needs that extra ability to Z-hop. So I maxed it out at 250 tall wise. And then this piece is printed flat, which isn't exactly 250 because you have this little bit here that kind of aesthetically it just matches the building because like I want it to at least resemble some of the features of the building, which is why I have these 3 opening things here. This bottom is blank, and then the sides here are pretty accurate, I think, with the right amount of windows. Yeah, I just kind of looked at the Wikipedia and counted the windows there. But yeah, it's the right shape. It's the right shape of the building. It's got this interesting kind of detail here. And then I thought, yeah, we should probably clear out the bottom windows on the side of the building here for the USB port, because you need to be able to plug it in, program it, and charge the battery. And then this is one of our reoccurring little snap fit pieces for the slide switch, so it turns it on and off. It's soldered to the enable and ground pin, so there is a little extra soldering, but not much. Yeah, I think that's about it. You can fit one of these batteries in there. This is a 1200 milliamp, but you could also fit a 2000 milliamp battery in there, so it'll last a while. And I think the idea is that we're actually going to take this, put it in our backpack, and we're going to go down to MIT. Me and Liz will, because we live here in Massachusetts. We're maybe about a half hour to an hour away from MIT, so we can actually go in front of the building and play it in front of the building, which might be kind of fun. So that might be a thing we do. Yeah. So that's the Tetris game. We're making a Tetris with NeoPixel IDs and CircuitPython code with a little gamepad here that's so tiny I could fill it up with my thumbs. Look at that. That's how tiny it is. I thought it was a little too tiny. I was like, this is gonna be hard to play. Yeah, so that'll be that. I wish there was like a cool way to like put this in here or something. I don't know. Maybe this fits at the top as a
maybe the top part.
Yeah, that might be a fun thing.
I kept thinking it was wireless for some reason.
Yeah, no, we could see this. The Propmaker feather doesn't have any wireless capabilities. I guess we could do like an ESP feather, but the main reason why we're using, because it has the right circuitry for NeoPixels, and there's a bunch of LEDs, and it takes care of the NeoPixel stuff pretty well. Yeah. The other thing is you're going to have a Stemma cable sticking out here. So like, how do you put it away? I still got some things to think out. I think once we actually have it playing and stuff, we'll come up with some solutions for, how do we make it elegant so that the wires aren't just hanging off of the building, right? So we'll come up with something. Okay.
Awesome.
Do you want to go, and then I'll talk about these cases after?
Okay, yeah.
Butterflies.
Super awesome. Let's go ahead and check out what I am prototyping. This is a little unusual, little break from the usual electronics.
Yes.
He had an idea of these pacifier attachments for kiddo. He was like, of course, he likes all the, what is this?
This is a horror film.
Yes.
This is Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, PT fan of horror and the like, as you've seen with some of the past 3D printed projects where it's featuring like stuff from, what's the one with the guts and the...
Oh yeah, the phone charger the flash charger. I think it was Cronenberg inspired.
Cronenberg, yes. So he's a fan of those types of that type of genre, and of course, Silence of the Lamb fits in there quite nicely. And having that moth that is in the poster, is that in the movie at some point?
Yeah. So the moth is on the main character's mouth, and then I think he saw somewhere that somebody was like, "Oh, I want to take that poster from the movie and make it into a pacifier so that the child can have, the butterfly in their mouth." And it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but there's some significance there. I won't spoil anything because I don't even remember.
It's old enough. So it's an attachment, all not Ninja Flex, but the TPU. This stuff is from Bamboo, and then the block is from Overture. So that's really what I was testing to see if I could do the multicolor color print for it. A little bit of a modification for the way the moth actually looks. The little feet and the antenna actually like overlap, but of course that's not going to work for printing. So I separated those, just made like vector artwork out of that. And that's where a lot of the work went into, getting all the colors and the paths all separated, and then getting the little cutout here so it can go onto the pacifier. The other thing I wanted to make sure, because he does want to model this on the baby, I want to make sure that we got some safe natural rubber pacifier. Using that one app. There's two of them. There's a, what is it, Oasis, and then the Yucca. Because man, every company's trying to poison us. with everything we eat, everything that we use.
Everything.
I know, for everything, like the clothes, the freaking air fresheners, the filters, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So for you do some research on everything that you're using. We're using 100% natural rubbers for this. So nice, safe pacifier that we can attach this to. I don't know if same with the TPU filament, but that's not being,
yeah, you're not chewing on that. You're not chewing on that.
This isn't going to be put into like
high. Luckily, our printers are now fully enclosed and they have HEPA filters on them, so it's the best we can do.
Yep. So nice flexible filament to be nice and soft for kiddo. So yeah, that's really what the project for me was, getting all the layers and seeing if the multi-material works.
It's pretty straight on. Yeah. And when here's a real quick refresher. This is the poster, and this is what we're going after here. This very frightened child. But that's it there. That's Jodie Foster she's the main character in the movie.
Yeah, so I just grabbed this and traced it inside of Photoshop. Brought it into Illustrator to separate all of the compound paths and combine those so all the different colors can be imported into Fusion. Did the extrusion and then separated the colors into their own components so that's all together when you import it into Bamboo Studio to do the color assignment. And it did a really good job, especially with the detail over the skull here. Let's see the little teeth are all
that's very good.
Resolving, and then the little cutouts. Of course, it makes it a lot easier when you're dealing with flexible filaments, a little bit more forgiving in terms of it being a little bit more smaller so it grips on to the actual size or sides. And then the way that it attaches is those little cutouts just go over and then attach like that. When I was sizing this out, I was just doing the color and the settings testing, and I didn't realize that this one is way too big.
So giant.
I mean, I guess
comically giant.
I know PT could wear this one.
Can wear that one.
Whatever, you know, pose with it.
You can turn it into a hat or something. I don't know.
It's so huge.
Turn it into a babies love those headbands. Put it on the headband.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Babies don't love the headbands, but the parents love to put the headbands on the baby. You gotta have some sort of headband on the baby to help the brain shape.
Yeah. So luckily the way that I set up the sketches, this is the cutouts are separate. The whole object of the moth itself can be scaled down, so the cutouts maintain the same size.
Okay.
So if he does request a smaller one, I think that's about as small, maybe like 0.2, whatever percentage wise inside the scaler. The sketch might be able to make it a little bit smaller, so that it's still within the sides of the shape, so it can maintain. Otherwise, I'm getting pretty close to the edge here already with this size. And then the nozzles being able to resolve on the little details on that skull there.
Wow.
You can see the back here. This is where I'm printing this on. I'm using the textured PEI side heat plate to make it a lot more easier to remove. I remember it being way more harder on the smooth surface. Sort of adheres. You have to heat up the plate.
That's right.
I did not have to do that with the textured side of the PEI. It came right off.
Nice.
Very easy. And the only issue with printing the Overture TPU, it does list it as a 95A, but it feels way more softer. The Bamboo Labs is also listed as a 95A, and it feels like it's more rigid. Like it doesn't feel as floppy as the Overture stuff. And I only had a clog because of the Bowden tube that's inside the AMS did wear out. I sent you a photo of that. I should have loaded it up after. I should probably look at how many hours it's been printing for the past 2 years. All of these super long multicolor prints for the time lapses wore out 2 of the Bowden tubes that are inside that guides the filament into the printer. So luckily they do send the printer with replacements. So luckily I didn't have any downtime for that.
Very good.
And yeah, I will try other colors because it does look like it's an orange color in the all of the posters. The only one I had that matched closely was this yellow. And then just recently, I think, was it today or yesterday, Bamboo Studio released the ability to do color mixing. So I want to see if that, if we're able to do that. But I think it's with the printers that are dual nozzle that allow you to do the dual or the color mixing for your prints. So that would be for the wings, because you can see in the poster, moths naturally have like a sort of a color mixture, like the way that their the texture on their wings look.
Is it a moth or is it a butterfly?
I think it's a moth.
Yeah, hey, maybe you're right. It is a moth. Yeah, it's the whole thing in the movie. I'm sorry, Bugs, for I'm not super adversed in the the movies, the details in the movies.
Freaking giant this thing is.
It's so big, yeah.
So this is the size of the whole build plate. Just in case anybody's curious, this is how big you can print something.
Yeah.
And it's placed strategically too. So I had to lay out diagonally and then make sure that the purge block that it prints to do the color swapping, there's enough room for that.
Oh man, these moths are very big. If you do a search, it's
there's some big ones.
It's called Death's Head Hawk moths.
Yeah, it's super cool.
It's known for its skull-like marking on their thorax, symbolizing transformation, metaphors, metamorphosis, and Buffalo Bill's desire for change. There you go, folks.
Nature is metal.
Nature is definitely metal, especially this giant moth. Yeah. So, all right, very good. So there you go. Death's Head Hawk moth for your baby. Your newborn. Oh man. We wouldn't be doing this if PT didn't say go ahead, give it a shot.
Oh yeah. I never would have thought of this.
No. No. All I saw was like pacifiers to turn your toddler into like fake buck teeth or whatever.
That's what I remember. Yeah,
I remember. Cool.
That's pretty cool to be able to test out this with the AMS too.
It's springtime. Very springy.
And then the thickness of this is 1 millimeter thickness, so it's a couple layers. Okay. Comes out. What else in terms of settings? That's all I learned.
Yeah, just your standard TPU default settings.
Yeah, standard TPU. I'm using the high speed TPU from Overture.
Oh, Overture. Okay.
Overture, and then for Bamboo Studio, they have an AMS specific flexible
profile. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I tried. Yeah, when I was doing the profile setup, it would not let me do it if it was not the AMS specific TPU.
Yeah, you can get some real nasty buckling, I guess, if it wasn't the right material.
Exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. I'll see what he wants to do with this. If it was just like a gag post.
It could be a gag. I assume it's probably a gag. Maybe we do a playground note and just share it on printables, Thingiverse, and wherever else.
Yeah, because we have not seen. I don't think I didn't try searching, but I'm gonna assume that nobody's
not real. No.
Not have the creative juices to go out of their way to create something like this.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Very good. Very good. Nice break from some of the harder props.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll throw it back over here. Just been working on some updates to our 3D printing case, snapfit case for the QTPy Terminal Block BFF. So what I've added now is some little extra details here for the sides. You can see there's a little lip here that kind of covers it. We have mounting slots, so you can mount a sensor, a Stemma QT board on top of the cover. I added some walls here to cover this up. I don't think I actually had the terminal block yet. I was just showing the thing. So it does fit really well. I did have to do a couple updates just to make sure that some of the snap fit geometry are out of the way of the tabs. I added this little notch here so you can actually get to right up against the wall of the case. Now it allows you to get access to the Stemma QT port that's on the bottom. It's built into the BFF terminal block. Let's see what else. I have these 2 mounting holes here. I think I talked about those for with Brent. So this is a collaboration project with Brent Rubel, who's on the Adafruit.io team. He's got a project that he's working on, needed to use the QTPy BFF terminal block for a ESP32 based QTPy. And he thought it'd be great to put these magnetic feet that we have in stock. So in case folks want to stick this to the fridge or some other metal surface, so that they can just kind of mount it with these magnet feet. These are great. These are M3 sized, and you'll just need a hex nut here to secure it to the bottom of the cover there. What I also added here, which is a really helpful thing, is these little notches. If you ever look at some commercial products like the AirPods from Apple, you see they have this little notch here, right? And that little notch helps your finger grip onto it and open the cover here, right? So I thought, well, that's a great little design detail. Let me add that to this here. So if I get a good angle, you can see that there are these little notches here that allow your fingers to kind of open this up. So now you can open that a lot easier than having to constantly use a prying tool to open it. Here you can see one of the other iterations. I have it here. Same thing. It allows you to just kind of get your fingers in there so that you can open it like that.
Nice.
This is kind of like V1, and this is like V2, where it has that open access port for the Stemma QT. So then you can see how it's mounted here. You got these 2 rails. It's a slotted rail, M2.5 sized for the M2.5 holes. That way you can reposition the Stemma QT board how you want. So that's how that's working. And then we can disconnect this here like that. There you can see the Stemma QT port. The Stemma QT port will move from time to time depending on whatever feather or whatever QTPy you have. So that's why we're using this guy here instead of this one here, because this will change. And it's hard to accommodate for all of the QTPys. So that's what it looks like. It just comes off like that. There's no snap fit thing, just because we want to keep the case relatively small, even though it's super chonky. Why is it so chonky? Well, it's because these screw block terminals are chonky. And this will kind of only work with standard size headers. So if you have short male header pins on your QTPy, it won't line up. So we're kind of just hoping that folks know that. We'll write that in the copy too. But there's a good amount of clearance between the bottom of the QTPy and the top of the BFS terminal block. And so Lamar was able to fit some onboard battery charge, LiPo battery charging. So you have a JST port for battery. There's no on-off switch here. So if you do plug in a battery, you can't turn it off unless you manually turn off the battery. But you do have some LEDs there to tell you when the battery's charged, when it's charging. And I think that's about it. And it has 2 sets of surface mounted short profile headers. What else about this board? Now that I actually have it, you can solder this jumper to do 500 milliamp LiPo charging rate, so you can charge your batteries faster. It defaults to 250 milliamps, and then you can disable the LiPo charging here if you cut this tray so that you can use alkaline batteries. But yeah, it also works with Xiao boards. So a lot of Xiao boards do not have Stemma QT, so that's why we got Stemma QT on there, along with the battery thing. So yeah, you have these 4 mounting tabs here. You can break them off if you want. There's a little bit of a bite mark on it, maybe with some pliers or something. You can rip them off if you want, but I don't expect folks to do that. And the way it fits is you just gotta line up the Stemma QT port with the Stemma QT port hole. You just fit that in there. There's these pegs that fit through the mounting holes there, so that it doesn't move a lot. And then your QTPy goes this way. Let's see if I can fit it in there. I have to look at it. So that fits there. This just covers, this little lip here just covers the gap because there's a pretty big gap there. The reason why I have all that space in there is in case somebody wants to put a battery in there. You can do that. And then this fits over here like that. And you can still see the labels on the screw block terminal. So that'll help you when you are screwing in your wires on both sides there. I did have, let me unplug this and plug this in here so you can see the LED does shine through. Unfortunately, I have, board mounted on top. So it's hard. It's kind of hard to kind of do everything, right? Like I don't have room for a battery, but I do have some room for a battery, especially with this version. You can have your battery kind of come out if you want. A lot of different options. So I'm just kind of exploring all the different configurations of this thing. And again, it's very boxy because that's just kind of the way it is, because you have a fully a QTPy with the full-sized male header pin, so it has to have some height to it. It's hard to accommodate for everything, right? So that's why I have this little notch here for the USB so that I can actually get into it. So it's kind of weird in that way that I had to cut that out in there. This has been one of the most challenging things. Like I've been working on this for like a few days and I just keep hammering out new, thankfully it takes half an hour to print both pieces, 15 minutes for each piece. But yeah, it's been an interesting design challenge to like accommodate for every possible thing. Again, I can't accommodate for every possible thing because you're just going to get a big, long thing.
I don't even want to mention the comment here from Tite saying that he likes the double row female headers for jumper cables. I'm like, oh no, should I have some holes in there to accommodate for the jumpers being
yeah. That's why I had this slot in the bottom here for if you wanted to have other battery or stemma. So it's going to be hard to accommodate for everything. So maybe we got to, start crossing things off the list. Like, okay, we can't put an onboard battery. There's not enough room. So that's where I'm at with it. Brent has test printed this version here. And when he printed, he was using it. Hey, you know what? You should really expose the Stemma QT port. So that's why I added this notch here. You can't just add a hole, because if you add a hole, then you're this much away from the port. So then you're having to fish it through, and like it becomes weird. So that's why I added this notch here, which I was like, you might as well add that notch. Because I added a notch, I had to readjust the snap fit geometry here. So it just kept getting more and more weird shapes. Like, oh no. But that's the way it is. Yeah.
Tate says, no need for the sockets. It would be for super quick prototyping. But that, again, makes me think, it could still be used for prototyping. Just don't have the top attached.
Yeah.
Add some little dimples on the bottom so you have feet. So if you are using it for prototyping, it won't slide around. You can still have it in the case.
Yeah. So, I'll keep working on it. We'll see where we're at. I did submit an order to JLC PCB for this one with 2 different sets of tolerances, one with no offsets and one with offsets. Because it's smaller, it has to have, I think, a looser fit. But we'll see, I also was able to add an Adafruit logo on the top to differentiate the 2 versions, because sometimes you just get a bag of parts and there's no indicators on them, so you have to label them yourself somehow. So I kind of like this version that doesn't expose the Stemma QT, just because it looks simpler, but aesthetics isn't really, I think the name of the game here is more like how many features can we give access to. And I think the Stemma QT, it's always going to be there on the terminal block. So are folks using the terminal block? What do you guys think about it? I haven't really used it outside of like test fitting it. I don't have a project that needs, wires that are dangling from the sides yet. So it's an interesting.
I'm trying to think of what to use it for. I mean, it just came out like 2 weeks ago or something. So
last week, I believe. Yeah, last week. So that's it. It's weird to have the thing mounted here too, on the top, because then you're completely
protect everything else but that.
Right. So it's a little weird. So okay, so you're gonna protect the QTPy, but not the sensor that can get damaged and wet. I don't know. You know, I can't mount it on the inside because again, I have to add yet another 10 millimeters top here, or maybe 5 millimeters or so. And then you can't accommodate for every sensor position because sometimes you tend to move around. And again, I can't. Some of the sensors are a little bigger too. Remember, the Stemma QT has a standard size, but sometimes they get bigger, they get thinner. They, you know what I mean?
I mean, maybe some nubs on the side so you could attach an additional cover if you do use a stem. But then again, that's you're feature creeping.
I'm so feature creeped. I'm deep in the features. They're so creepy. But at least you get the main things. You have access to the top screws here. You have access to the terminal blocks. You got USB. Now you have Stemma QT here. Maybe we'll keep this or not at the top here because then it covers the LED. Because the LED does work really good for notifications. So I'll give you an idea of what it looks like. So if I take this off, and then we can swap. I think actually no, that won't fit. So I was like, oh, I'll just put this on top. It's not compatible because that notch really kills it there. You really need that notch on the top layer. But yeah, there's normally a NeoPixel that's built in, and it does shine pretty bright, especially with a white PLA that's translucent, semi-translucent. You'll get a nice. Let me just swap it for this then. We got time. We're like 30 minutes in, so you put that in there. You get that there. Now let's go ahead and plug it in. Let's get that cable somewhere over here.
For anybody who would actually need it, just a reminder that you could use filament as a light pipe to redirect that light if you want.
Yep. I was thinking of isolating, adding some walls to really make this sharp, but the NeoPixels change from a QTPy RP2040 to a QTPy ESP32 to a SAM-D21 QTPy. The NeoPixels just moving all over the place, so I can't just target one QTPy. So just make it shine through the whole thing. It gets really nice when you have like when direct sun isn't shining. It really does look really nice as an indicator for like letting you know what's status or something. As a quick like display status, it works really well. That actually looks good there, right? That if I can focus in there. Yeah. When I put these feet on there, it kind of looked like a little face. Like these are two eyes and this is a mouth. It kind of looked like
little finder
Marshall or Marcel, the seashell kind of looking guy. Hello. Yeah, I have been printing so much that I'm like hallucinating now about the anthropomorphizing the case. Yeah.
Yep, it looks like it.
Yep. Now you'll never unsee the face. Hello. Yeah. I have a lot of these guys. I have printed maybe a dozen of these things. This is one without the little helpers. It's so hard to open it, it's like you really need those little things, which I will start, I think, implementing. Yeah, shout out to AirPods for giving me that idea. I was like, wait a minute, I can do that. That's a good idea. Okay. Coupon code time. If you want to pick up a terminal block, the Stemma QT sensor, or gamepad, you can get 10% off your order with our coupon code QT Blocks. Create some QT blocks with your electronics. Make sure your electronics are cute with coupon code QT Blocks.
That coupon code made me think of, you should add some Lego studs to that.
Oh gosh. All right, let's see. We're gonna check in on Discord. Hello. Shout out to Tyeth. Thank you for watching, and that's it right now.
We got 200 people across all the social networks.
Yeah, they're just tuning in, listening.
They all don't have an easy access to comment.
Their hands are busy. Yeah.
A lot of the time that when I'm listening to stuff, the phone is just like in my side and it's coming in through my earphones. That's how I listen to stuff.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into this week's Community Makes celebrating.
Yeah, let's see.
Successful splashdown of Artemis 2. we had to, of course, print some astronauts. Time lapse. There it is. Oh, there it is. This is the flexible jointed astronaut by Robot 3 Dart.
3 Dart.
I went ahead and went in and colored a couple of the sections since the print here was not colored. So I went in and added additional colors to his little suit here. I added the blue. In the original model, none of those were dual colored or anything. So I added all those in. He is doing.
That looks really great.
Doing his little 6'7", because of course. Did you watch any of the live stream when they were up there?
I did. I watched the splashdown. Yeah.
Oh no, when they were up there, it's the crater by Antalo is a 6, maybe a 7.
Oh man, I missed that one. That's great.
So even, to an even more updated model beyond this one, I added the little blue.
Oh, that's cool.
To it to a little bit more color. The head does not move; that's attached, but the limbs and stuff, even his little torso here moves.
Yeah, there's sockets.
Stands up. Yeah, it's all ball sockets. Take these off like that.
No.
Same thing with his hands.
Nice click.
Adjust this camera. Whoop. Okay. Super cool.
That is really cool.
Of all the astronauts, you guys read any of the backgrounds on them? Oh my god, they're all amazing people.
For sure.
Cool. And then in the background here, of course, Brandy is making Rise since. Super surprised that they do not have merch. We even have Carol Crater.
Great opportunity to make your own.
Yeah.
Graft and sew it up. Yeah.
The footprint on the back there.
Oh, with a little a stitched pattern. That's very cool.
Yeah. We got that. Yeah. She's doing the hat right now with all the
okay. It looks really good. It looks pretty legit. Shout out.
Yeah. I think the original one is the what is that one thing where they like stab the fabric, stitch fabric or whatever?
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Yeah. Oh boy, I forgot. It's kind of like the thing that you use to make like bathroom mats, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Okay, let's take a look at the page. If folks want to print their own astronaut, articulated astronaut
there it is.
Figure, I guess. Yep. So this is the page. It's a free model. It's from Robo 3D Art, like we said. And let me look at some photos that they have set up here.
I should probably upload the colored 3MF because it did take quite a bit to color in.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. So it's not meant to be printed in color. But how'd they get the head then? Is it like a separate piece? The visor?
The visor is a separate piece, yes.
Ah, I see. Oh, okay. Here's what it looks like.
Yeah, there's a little ball socket in there.
Yeah, interesting angles. Oh, the feet too. Huh? Individual feet, individual hands.
The feet were not mirrored properly. It looks like he's got two left
feet. That's fantastic. Well, you can do that quickly. Anything in Bamboo Studio, you can do like.
I just didn't realize until we were assembling.
Read here. This is an astronaut, requires manual assembly, capable of limited articulation after assembly. Some print settings here. It does need support. Yes. Recommended to use PET-G. Interesting, PET-G. The joints are too loose or too tight. Please adjust the XY contour compensation by approximately 0.05. I've never had to do that, but that's a good tip. Let's see if anyone made any. Nope, just go comments. Do you glue it together? No, it's a ball socket. Cool. Again, free model. Pedro, if you want, you can throw up the colored 3MF if you want. And that's it, really.
This one is about 17 hours because of the color changes.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely worth it for the design.
Yeah, I saw Declan's been really playing with it a lot. He's like, cool.
On his little marketplace for the scholarship, they had the Artemis Lego, so of course they picked that up.
Oh, it's gonna be a fun build. And you can have
it's the one that does the separation. It's like
the little geared thing. That's super cool.
Does the what is it? Is it like it's like 3 different stages? So it does the boosters, it keeps going up, and then the capsule separates for Orion or the integrity portion.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right. So that's this week's time lapse. Let's move on to some more community makes this week. We actually have a handful of makes that were posted up and sent to us, kicking it off with the ever so popular heat set insert press rig. This was posted up by GM or G Magician. I said, I like this so much. Really simple and fast to realize. I also printed the wheels. Thanks. And looks like they're assembling it still, which looks really cool. They printed the wheel, which is like, yeah, that's great.
Wow.
Sure. Yeah. And then we have a really fun one. This is a make by Kia posted up on printables of our Severance inspired Bluetooth speaker. And they said it was easy to print and assemble. Thanks. Just slightly modified the front grille to better fit the webcam. So it looks like they're using an ESP32 with a built-in webcam, which is really interesting here. The way the USB routes through the back there. But yeah, it looks like they created their own mount here for the what is this? A free Nove ESP32 Rover. So it's an ESP32 based board with an onboard camera. Maybe it can be a webcam or something.
Yeah,
that's a pretty cool idea.
Clever.
Maybe we'll revisit it for season 3 or 4. I forget what season of Severance we're on now. 3. Oh, it's too many TV shows. So shout out to Kia for putting that up. It was great. And yet another heat set insert press. I did say it was popular. This was posted by Jeremy K. Mack on printables.com. They said, this is a great project and directions. Pretty much what you expect from Adafruit. Oh, isn't that touching? I really appreciate the step files. I was able to make a few changes. I updated the top cover to work with a pulley and bearing to accommodate some scrap belt. I also designed a new pen holder to work with the Pinecell V1, then wrapped it up in an old aluminum Y-axis carriage. So let's take a look at these prints. They look really nice. This texture here.
Oh, wow.
It's fantastic. I have yet to use one of these texture beds, but you can get some really nice textures with the, I think it's like a carbon fiber pattern.
Yeah.
This is, of course, the arm of the rig, and then they have their own custom mount here for their pen whatever it was. It's a very, one of those battery operated maybe pencil soldering irons, with of course the tip for the heat set inserts, and everything else looks pretty stock. I think they did. Yeah, they're using a belt, a timed pulley, metal pulley that has teeth on it, so that it has like this really nice, mating belt with a pulley. So that's really nice. That's another update there. But I think they're using the same carriage here with the V wheels, and that might be printed. The base here, it might be printed. I think it is. I can see some layer lines, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, people continue to make remixes and tweaks to it, and these days you can purchase one from Amazon. Heat set insert. It's all metal, but people like to build their own, and sort of a unique design here with just one aluminum extrusion. So that's cool. Shout out to Jeremy for posting up a nice make of the heat set rig. And the last one to close it out is a really nice looking Raspberry Pi 3 media server posted up by DZEFR1. DZEFR1 is their username on printables.com. And they wrote media storage server box for the Raspberry Pi 3. I modified the original model, switched to a Pi 3 and other compatible with it. The screen is replaced with a 1.3-inch screen or a version 1 3-inch screen. They removed the 2 buttons at the top because it used to have 2 buttons, and then added some standoffs and legs. Nice. For non-modified parts, you will have to download them from the original model creator. By the way, you can print all the parts on Veron 0. It fits. I guess that's a small printer. Oh, wow. It's like edge to edge.
Wow.
Gnarly. Very cool. Yeah, and the original here. I forget. Does it have a Pi 4 or something? Yeah, this one gets a lot of makes too because it's just like a fun, very modular, box for your Raspberry Pi or Raspberry Pi 3, 2, whatever. Yeah, people add their own displays to it. Yeah, we're using ours as a media server for our local movies and stuff. But yeah, that's fantastic. They have their own dashboard there, has CPU, temp, rain. And it's in this like what is that anime? Eva Longalion? I believe that's what it's
like an Eva.
That's why it says Eva on there. Yeah, very cool. All right, and that's this week's those were this week's community makes. Thank you everybody so much for posting up makes. Last week we didn't have any. This week we had like 4. Which was really cool to see people making stuff and posting it. Go that extra mile and post it because you're so proud of what you made. Okay. Are we ready to shut it down? Don't forget, folks, if you want to pick up some stuff from the Adafruit shop, you can use our coupon code QTBlocks to get 10% off your order. Should work on all things that are in stock. Thank you, folks, for putting your orders in. And thank you for watching us as we continue to make whimsical projects, strange, horrific things for toddlers. It's like practical things to enclose your electronics as best as we can. All that and more. Later tonight, normally show and tell happens at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see who hosts tonight. It's always like a click the random button. We'll see who hosts tonight. And then tomorrow is Thursday, where you can tune into JP's workshop, John Park's workshop, at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Fridays are deep dives with Scott. This one, not Tim. Sorry, Tim. Scott. Has a deep dive every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern or 2 p.m. Pacific. And then the weekends are free. But then Mondays, CircuitPython weekly meeting happens on Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Tuesday, you get 2 for 2. 2 shows on Tuesdays, starting off with Tim at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, deep dives with Tim. And then at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, JP's product pick of the week. 2 for 2. And then 3D Hangouts happens Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Cool. All right. Again, thank you everybody for watching. Use our coupon code if you need it. It's there. We'll be back next week. But until then, remember to make a great day.
Day.
Bye, everybody.